Get ready to dive into a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile borderlands of men. The Adventurer-Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint, or as we like to call it, Acts 2, is now live on Kickstarter. Acts 2 is the new edition of the acclaimed best-selling fantasy role-playing game. You'll find everything you need to enjoy epic fantasy campaigns with a sweeping scope. Whether you want to crawl through dungeons, experiment with alchemy, crossbreed monsters, run a merchant emporium, raise an undead legion, or even conquer an empire, Acts 2 supports your playstyle. Acts 2 integrates experience point mechanics, making campaign activities a seamless part of the core gameplay loop. Your character levels up in new and exciting ways each time you play, adding massive replayability to each of your adventures. Acts 2 offers 18 character classes, 378 spells, new combat mechanics, and so much more. Support Acts 2 on Kickstarter today.
Somewhere in between, round the table with your friends, playing Dungeons and Dragons. And if life ever knocks you down, your dice will surely turn around. Roll your stats, it's time to quest. Let's put your characters to the test.
Welcome to Knocked Prone, a podcast of high crits, small fits, and varying wits. My name is Cade, and I am the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I am joined here by the players to my left.
Mason, playing Look here.
Brooklyn, playing Litzy.
Danny, playing Tess.
Caden, playing Blink.
Awesome. So as we last left our adventurers, they started to journey through the Bone Oasis, as it was called, to be met by some tree blights that attacked them as they were walking through this trail on the way to try and find the gnolls who have kidnapped the rangers. I think that's where we left off. So you stand in the wake of your victory in battle with minor bruises, many of you, some more than others. But the Litzy's father points out the trail again, and you're free to continue to the gnolls if you'd like.
Before we continue, I'm going to walk over to the robot and be like, Q, can you help heal me?
Oh, of course. And he's going to reach his hands out towards you. He'll get out his handy-dandy honey that he crafts out of his hand.
Lots of little holes in the rock. Just like mini beehives, like
yeah,
within him.
You will regain 8 points of health.
Wow, thanks so much. And I'll give him like a big old hug and then run back to my panda.
Yeah. He nods and continues and says, "How may I be of assistance?" And like continues walking forward.
Before we do leave, I do want to examine the dead blights. I'm not looking for anything for me as a player. My character would basically just want to examine them. He would be curious about whether they had like blood or like some kind of sap running through them, or like what was going on, as well as like he would basically just try to get enough details to write about them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you see it's like the sap that is running out of them where there were lacerations from where they got hit or burned. They have little bits of ooze dripping out of them, and it seems to be that familiar purple ooze that you've seen before.
Cool. I'm not sharing with the group. That'll just be something that Look here puts down. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Everyone roll me a perception check.
16?
2.
17.
I also got a 2.
Nice. Okay. Well, Tess, with your new dark vision, you're kind of looking around and you're noticing, like, though things are dead, there are lots of animals down here, very different from the animals that you've seen. They have a grayish color scale coat, not bright or very fluffy looking at all. Lots of them have reptilian qualities about them. And Litzy, as you look around you also notice those animals, but you're kind of noticing that the foot traffic in the footprints is getting heavier. Like it looks like where you're getting close to where you are going, and that happens in about an hour time as you guys are walking.
So are we through the grove?
Yes.
So we're like well into the sand dunes?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, you passed by all the dead trees, and now
making
you're
sure.
continuing into the desert, and very sparse with wildlife. Like there's a few more dead trees, but they
Do we naturally get close to any of the animals, or are they mostly keeping their distance?
actually most of the animals are keeping distance.
I figured.
They seem to be hunted semi-frequently by people maybe out in the world, like rangers. So, yeah, that's what you notice. What do you guys talk about in this hour as you're traveling?
Well, that attack was pretty crazy. Blink.
I did what I had to do. I just wish we could have saved more of the forest.
Well, I mean, we can save anything we want with power like that. I'm glad you're on our side, and that I'm not the cooked pile of whatever those things were laying on the ground.
And let's see, I am very sorry about putting out your fire. I was just trying to see if I could get the trees to be nice.
Tess, I'm sorry I snapped. I'm sorry I snapped too. I didn't mean to get so upset. And Blink, that was wonderful. Very, very impressive. And then I sort of like look away and look a little like irked for a second. Did anyone see my Eldritch Cannon? Because that was pretty cool, right?
Was fairly interesting. Ability to just shoot fire out of whatever contraption that you've got there. It seemed to be quite effective as well.
2 directions. Now I can be blowing off my fire, and now my Eldritch Cannon can be exploding. It's gonna be a great time. I'm very excited.
Have you been working on that for a long time, or was this just a little side project?
I've been planning this project for a really long time, but that walk gave me a fantastic opportunity to begin building my little project.
Well, I guess since we're all sharing our advances, I have recently created something of my own, a minor power, nothing in comparison to the creation of Litzy's, but it's my first attempt at a spell. And I'll kind of go, and I want to cast one of my temperamental spells. So you'll see me take out just a little bit of gem dust and like throw it in the air along with a dart, and you'll see that it turns semi-spectral, and then I will just throw it at like a nearby stump or whatever's nearby.
Does this affect
This is the wild magic one.
Okay. Roll me a d20 as well.
Okay. I got a 6 on the d20 and a 40 on... a 4? 004. So yeah.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Go ahead and tell me your damage and on what you were rolling and what it does, and then I will tell you what happens.
Yeah, so it hits the stump and it embeds into the stump, it goes from being spectral to being solid again. It deals 7 points of damage to the stump, which is that's max damage. And then
Right. So as you cast this spell, noticing that you're kind of tapping into this like arcane that you aren't really familiar, the wild magic that Blink has, coursing through him, you feel this immense pain in the center of your head, like between your 2 eyes, and as you like wince and blink for a second, a third eye appears over in the center of your forehead, and you now have advantage on sight-based wisdom perception checks.
Okay. Is that permanent?
No.
Okay, thank goodness. Like, Lakir would be just wearing a headband the rest of the campaign. Yeah, I'll kind of go and... That wasn't supposed to happen. Well, typically, whatever would happen to me would also happen to whatever I was attacking. So...
A third eye pops out of the stump. Yeah. And a mouth, too, and it's like, kill me.
Look horrified, and I'm just like, I think I got some of the math wrong, and just the remainder of the trip, I'll just be scribbling in my notebook again.
As you walk away, the stump, where are you going?
I'll cast Firebolt and end its misery.
Also, after seeing this dope wild magic spell, and those are Blink's words, exactly. He says, dope.
In the face.
Yeah, I was gonna say, somebody's been in the face.
So fey.
So I'm going to approach Lakir, and I'm going to say, so, you know more spells than me. I just watched you...
I'll be like scribbling and be like, yes.
I just watched you cast an awesome spell, and I'm looking for one. I also have this cantrip scroll. That's because technically it's a cantrip, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I've got this cantrip scroll, and it's blank. But unfortunately, I cannot be the one to write the spell on this scroll. So, when you have the chance, if you wouldn't mind inscribing the details of the cantrip onto this,
yeah, I'll take it from him and be just like, interesting. Where'd you get this?
I actually found it in the secret room of the library.
Huh. Well, yes, I'm sure I can provide you a copy of it once it's all sorted out. That was a pathetic demonstration, and I am sincerely sorry that I made you witness that. When it worked out, my hope is to have a more consistent result. I don't think that's what you're interested in, though. Very well. Let me see what I can do. What happened back there was an accident. But if I put the same equation in, we should get the same results. Give me a moment, and I'll see what I can do. And by moment, I mean a while. It'll take me a bit to transcribe a scroll.
Okay. And I'll say, you seem to know your stuff. I have no doubts that you'll be able to, perfect it. And as a gesture of my appreciation, here's 10 gold pieces to, when we find civilization again, to spend as you like.
I'll kind of take it and say, well, thank you. That is very thoughtful. And yeah, I'll pocket it because Kier's not one to say no to money.
Okay, yeah. Anything else you're doing? Let's see.
I'm going to keep altering my Eldritch Cannon, messing with it, especially because it's my first one, and just experimenting with it more.
Okay, perfect. Tess?
I'm mostly just hanging out with my panda. Like, wow, I'm so glad you guys have all these very nifty things you can do.
I'll kind of say,
thank you for protecting me and Big Boy.
Nonsense, Tess. Not many of us can shapeshift into creatures at will. You have your uses yourself.
And I'll just I'll just be confused a little bit, just look confused.
So you guys chat for a while, work on your mechanism as well as transcribing the scroll. Blink, are you doing anything else?
Or sorry,
you're good.
Before I'm just gonna mumble I think he's talking about the bag. Yeah, I can pull out all sorts of cool creatures.
Oh yeah.
Right now I'm just kind of just still thinking about Lakir's spell. Just it intrigued me, especially its wild magic effects. And it kind of, so I'm just kind of thinking about the spell. I'm thinking like, if I ended up using I keep saying spell, but it's a cantrip. If I end up using this cantrip, and it has a wild magic effect, but when I cast spells, also has a wild magic effect, is that going to be like double wild magic table roll whenever I cast that cantrip?
Interesting. We'll have to find out.
Okay. Or is that going to like open up a black hole and then
yeah,
the campaign's over? It's done.
It's done. And the world is consumed at the end.
For the fourth year in a row, Dawn is partnering with iHeartRadio for Can't Cancel Pride, a campaign that has raised over $11 million for the LGBTQ plus community. Dawn continuously strives to celebrate visibility and inclusivity for all, and that means supporting amazing organizations like Centerlink, providing safe spaces where over 52,000 community members go each week to receive critical and life-saving services. Dawn is there for your home, or your home away from home. So visit can'tcancelpride.com to learn more.
Awesome. So you guys travel for a while. You start to hear a commotion up ahead. Some snarls. In the distance, you can see the faint outline of a poorly constructed wooden planks kind of put up and made into spikes. It looks like some sort of fort is up ahead.
I would say that I'm not leading anymore. I would say that me and Lakir had kind of a moment to pause, and so I would say that maybe we're not in the front anymore.
I'd say I can be in the front, but I'm not paying attention
Yeah, I
to
feel
where
like-
we're heading very much.
I feel
So-
like Tess would like kind of linger behind at least somebody.
So I'm in front. Didn't really notice it. Not really particularly trying to lead the way, but here I am.
Yeah. Okay. So as you continue walking, it gets closer and closer until, let's see, you basically run smack dab into this wall. And yeah. So, yep.
You said we heard snarling, correct? Mm-hmm. So once we get closer, I'll kind of look around and say, I think we're here. I'll go and like put my book away and start drawing my sword. I think we should be ready for the worst.
Lakir, do you think your friend could scout the area out before we get noticed?
Sure. I'll snap on the ground and kind of go down. Phoenix, we'll need you to scout ahead a little bit. Just make sure the area's clear. If there are any issues, you come straight back, all right? I'll go and kind of say, I have to sit down for this, and I'll sit down kind of, it's not a meditation stance, but like crisscross. And I will look through the eyes of my familiar and just send him, I think as long as he's within a mile, I can do it. So
Yeah.
I'll just send him towards the fortress as far as I can.
Okay.
And see what I can see.
All right. So
While he's in that form, I'm gonna like mend the clothing where he got stabbed.
oh, nice.
My ward absorbed all the damage.
Oh, that's true. So maybe it protected it.
the 7 temporary hit points at the beginning of each day.
Just pretty great.
Yeah.
It's
Next
nice.
level will be 9. And then the next level, every level it goes up by 2.
That's awesome. So Phoenix, as Phoenix, as he's scouting ahead, sees. You can see through Phoenix's eyes, kind of like a poorly made staircase out of these planks that have been ripped from the dead wood of the dead trees around the area and fashioned into this, up to these stairs, up to the top of the fort. There doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Interesting. You said we heard snarls. Can I hear snarling through Phoenix's ear still?
Yes. And it's
Can I
growing
go
louder.
towards that.
Yes. So Phoenix would have to climb up the stairs if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Phoenix climbs the stairs. On top of the stairs is the top of the wooden plank wall that is surrounding this fort. And in the middle, Phoenix can see, or you can see through Phoenix's eyes, the 5 rangers all dressed in ceremonial garb and a bunch of gnolls having their eyes trained on them. There are 27 gnolls as Phoenix can see, but all of these gnolls have their eyes trained on these rangers in ceremonious garb and are chanting a phrase over and over and over again in Gnoll, which you do not speak.
Cool. I'll as I'm like exploring, I can speak inside this form, but I cannot see or hear anything like Kier would. I can only see and hear through Phoenix. So, as I'm seeing this through Phoenix's eyes, I'll just kind of relay what I'm seeing in real time, and then once I kind of see everything I feel there is to be seen, I'll kind of snap out of it and say, it seems that there's something going on. There's ominous chanting, and I'm not sure. It seems like they're preparing for a ritual of some kind. The Rangers are there and alive.
Were they tied up? Or like...
No, they were free.
Were they seeming like they just didn't want to leave because of, like, the people guarding them? Or because they were just...
They were surrounded by gnolls. There's more than 20, I'm not entirely sure.
Wow.
I'm not sure what we do. They're distracted. We could try to take advantage of that.
So, were the gnolls all grouped into one area?
For the more or less, it's all the same general area. They're not necessarily in a group huddle, but they're not spread apart either.
So, I have the ability to create vines that could snare within 20 feet, which could get a lot of them if we could somehow coordinate a large blast.
I don't have that kind of magic available. Your cannon seems fairly useful at that.
I can do large blasts, yes.
I don't know how else we could get them out.
And you said that you've seen the Rangers, right? You've seen that they're alive.
All 5.
Okay. And where were they located as far as like inside this camp compared to the gnolls?
The way I'm picturing it is that it's like almost semicircle-ish with them towards the back, and them being basically surrounded by gnolls. Is it a semicircle or a full circle?
Semicircle.
Okay, so it's a semicircle like that. I'm assuming that they're towards like a wall or something where they can't back up and away, right? That's the image I got.
They had their backs to Phoenix.
Okay. So, to Phoenix. So I was up on the wall. They're there and they're looking out. Okay. Well,
Pretty hard to get all of them.
and once we do that, our cover's blown. We have
Yeah.
no other thing.
Perhaps a distraction?
I can also disguise myself as a gnoll. You know, meander my way down there as a gnoll would, to see if I could get these guys at least out of, or at least to safety or something. Or
So, you disguise yourself as a gnoll, go in, and then the proficiency in fire we have, I assume this fort is made of wood. Perhaps setting the fort on fire could create a large distraction.
and I am also resistant to fire, so if I'm down there, it should be all right.
The Rangers, though.
Probably not.
My idea is a hit and run. We need to try to get them out, and I don't think we can take on a force that size. We need to try to draw their attention elsewhere, get the Rangers out, and then run or find some way to escape. I don't think we beat them on a head-on battle. I had a question. Does your cannon, can anyone operate that, or is it a little particular?
I operate the cannon, but I did just add legs to the cannon, so it can travel quite a ways and still be under my control.
If we want, you and I could ascend the wall. and use both the cover and the height advantage to start getting some shots off. That'll start drawing them towards us, and you two can be the ground team. We can distract, kill as many as we can. You grab the rangers, and we run as soon as we see that you're safe.
Yeah,
I like it.
me too.
And so I think you still disguise yourself as a gnoll to get as close as possible for when the shooting starts.
Okay.
And I'm going to still try to wait and see if I can entangle and slow as many of them down as possible.
All right.
All right.
So if you guys are on the wall,
Yeah, is
where
there a way
should we
into
be?
the area that, like, I can scout with Phoenix? Like, basically find a way into the room that's not jumping off the wall.
Right. So the only thing that you can see, so through Phoenix's perception, you could climb up the ladder or the steps to the wall, and then the entrance to the fort was on the other side. It's a big pair of double doors, and the other set of stairs leads down to it. So if you were to go through the entrance, you would be in eyesight of the gnolls.
Okay. Well, I think we hide at the top of the wall and do our best from there. I honestly have no idea what we can do besides.
I'll probably get on top of the wall with you guys then and just have Blink go in his disguise.
I have some rope left over from. I asked for extra if we want to use that to descend, and then after you two are down, we can throw the rope over so that they can't get back up. I don't know.
That could be pretty good. Help him get up on the wall quickly.
But
It's a very, very tricky situation.
it is. I think the thing is, gnolls are not intelligent creatures. They're most likely going to attack us and brute force as much as they can. They are not thinking strategically. They are not thinking about the next step. All that they see in front of them is the battle. That's the edge we can have on them. If we go into this knowing our goal and focus on that, I think we can win. It's up to you. I can't go in there.
I think that's a great plan. Litsy's dad kind of bends down. It's like, what are you guys doing over here? I was just talking with Q over there.
Tell me, do you have any capabilities combat-wise?
Oh, does this tell you anything? He's gonna throw his boomerang, and it's gonna hit the side of the fort wall, and a lightning comes down from the sky and goes, and then the boomerang returns to his hand.
I don't think that was the best for our cover. Thank you, though.
Oh, and he scratches his head, and he's like, I didn't know we were trying to be.
We
Dang it!
should
okay.
stop now. Join us on
Yep.
the wall.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll immediately just start running up the stairs to the wall of the fort.
Okay. I'm going to do two things. Casting mage armor.
Okay.
And then cast disguise self to turn myself into a gnoll.
Roll me 2 wild magic tables.
I forgot about that. Wow. No, I always forget. I hope this doesn't blow our cover. Okay, I got a 61 and then a 7.
Okay. Your charisma modifier increases by 5
Okay. For an undetermined
for
amount
an
of time.
undetermined amount of time.
Okay.
So you get plus 5 to your charisma.
Wait, his modifier or his score?
His modifier. And then a 7. The next time you make an attack, the target takes the amount of damage equal to the number of gold pieces in your possession.
We're fine. We're fine, man.
gold do you have?
I've got 200 gold.
It's like a one-shotting a boss type of ability.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, and with that,
When you get in there, you find the biggest
And does that only apply to spells, did you say? Or is it
piece of paper
also like a melee attack or my breath weapon?
Punches him,
Yeah.
his head explodes.
yeah. So it'll be with any attack that you
Any
do.
attack.
Any
Okay.
attack.
Okay, awesome. Dick did.
Yeah.
Holy
So you transform into a gnoll and you like tingle with this power, as well as you feel very charismatic.
Okay.
Feel like you could talk people out of money.
It's a good time to be charismatic. You're sneaking into an enemy army.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Yeah.
He's got that real good smile.
Yeah, just like, I like that smile. That guy, I trust him. All right, so Operation Go.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going.
I'm just
Plan
gonna
it out.
head down there like I know what I'm doing, like I know where I'm going. Kind of maybe have like a little bit of a like hobble as I'm walking, you know. And I'm just gonna. So did you say it was like a building or a camp?
A fort.
A fort. That's right. Okay. So this fort probably has like an outer wall with some guards.
Yes, but they are not positioned at the moment.
Okay. With an open front gate.
Open front gate.
Fantastic. That's what we like. Sweet. Yeah. I'm just gonna go right in the front.
Okay, as you walk in, the biggest guy looks over at you and goes, "Zah,
So I'm gonna kind of. How well can they see me? How far away am I from them?
You are about 15 feet away from them.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of like nonchalantly wipe my hand over my mouth, trying to like not let him see, but I'm kind of like changing the appearance of my gnoll a little bit to have it look like my mouth is sewn shut so that I can't speak.
Okay, yeah. The Gnoll nods at you as he notices your mouth sewn shut and like gestures with his hand for you to come over to him.
Cool. So
the
I'm walking over, but I'm staying out of touching like arm's length distance.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check
Okay.
with advantage.
Okay. With +7 bonuses on top of that because of my
Yes.
+5 charisma. 18.
All right. So one guy looks over at you, kind of looks at one of the gnolls looks at you, and then puts his arm around you and says, and like nods.
And I just nod. And nod.
He goes, no. And then they continue. They're chanting, and one of the rangers looks up at the group and hoists his hands up and says, "Za, za, za!" And then the rangers start marching, marching towards the exit.
Where's the exit?
Exit of fortress?
Yeah, like where you just entered, they start marching that way.
Okay.
As we're all like on the bridge, I'll go, and like start pushing them down the stairs.
Yeah, we go back down.
So I guess I'll just follow them. I'll just pretend like, yep, I'm going to help them. Whatever they're doing, I'm helping out, you know?
Yep. So they travel for a ways. Are you guys gonna do anything with the fort while they're exiting the fort?
Running out of the fort?
No, they're just walking. Like a marching order.
I mean,
I'm like,
as I want to stay hidden from them
watching.
as they leave the fort, personally.
Okay.
yeah, I don't want them to see me, actually.
I guess since I'm like blatantly out in the open and I'm not really trying to hide, I guess if there's anything in the fort that catches my eye, like anything pertaining to where they might be going, maybe even like some cool magical items that might be lying around.
Yes. Roll me a perception check with
Okay.
advantage.
Okay. Natural 20 on the first one.
Roll me another one. If you get a second natural 20, it's going to be dang cool.
7.
That's okay.
Okay.
So with a natural 20, you see a bone necklace hung up on a stick. It looks like some form of idol necklace, and you are very welcome to grab it.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna, without hesitation, grab it and throw it on.
Okay.
All right, one last observation thing. Did the Rangers look afraid as they were marching out?
No.
No.
And they spoke in Gnoll as they were leaving.
So they continue. So you guys were at the back of the fort. They exited the front of the fort. So they started walking the other way. And they march for about 100 feet. And then blink, you see a fountain. It looks almost like it was a spring that they have idolized into something, and outpouring out of the top of this spring is geysering the purple goop that you have seen.
Oh. Okay.
And they are all marching straight for it with the Rangers.
All of the Gnolls
going.
too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was just the Rangers. My apologies.
No, the Rangers followed by the Gnolls. There seem to be some sort of spectating for this,
Gotcha.
whatever it is. So is there anything you'd like to do upon noticing the fountain?
Am I directly with the Gnoll group now?
Yes.
Okay, because that was kind of my intention, was to hurry and grab whatever I could and then kind of hustle to get back with them. Do I also see the rest of the squad?
Are you guys following, or are you guys hiding?
I feel like I would at least peek up behind the corner to see
I would
what's
say
going
that
on.
we would be hidden from the Gnolls in general.
So with you
And
knowing where we are,
following.
you could probably catch a glimpse, but we're not
Okay.
super visible.
Okay, right on. So I'm watching them march these rangers to a fountain of purple ooze, basically. Do I see a leader or anything like that?
Yes. So as you're looking around, you're kind of noticing all the Gnolls kind of look similar. And then as they are approaching this fountain, everyone looks over at you. All the Gnolls look over directly at you, look down at your bone necklace, look at you, and then they all get down on one knee, and they... And then they all point at you, and they wait.
Oh no. I put on the sacrificial necklace or something. Crap.
The leader's headdress, basically.
Oh, maybe,
Seeing when they all start getting on their knee and waiting for him to do something, I'm gonna be worried that he's not gonna be able to know what to do, so I'm gonna start sneaking up closer. How far? Maybe we should
Roll
figure
me
out how far this is.
It's 100 feet, so roll me a stealth.
I do want to get close enough to be useful as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I think that as things start going down, I'm at least growing increasingly nervous and just want to be in better reach.
Something is obviously happening, even if we don't know what. Everyone kneeling down to one, so...
Yeah.
getting closer.
Everyone roll me a stealth check as you approach and describe to me how you're planning on stealthing through this desert.
While we're walking, I might talk to Litsy's dad, in case we need a place for momentary safety, perhaps you should see if you can figure out how to close the gates. Because it looks like they've all left. So, even though it's not super safe, we could potentially use this to slow them down.
Good idea. Hey, Q, let's get these gates closed for these guys, huh? And he's gonna start working on it.
Wait.
So I rolled really poorly for my stealth, but as I start to realize that I am not a stealthy person and that this is not going to go well for me, I choose instead to also cast Disguise Self to make myself look like a Gnoll as well.
Okay, that's awesome.
I got 9 for for my stealth check. So I will be crawling through the sand, attempting to get closer as I'm like,
I also got a 9, and I'm probably doing about the same because I only need to be within 90 feet. So I'm like just barely past the fort, just like.
Yeah. Well, they're not necessarily focused on the fort at the moment, so even though you guys aren't the stealthiest, they don't seem to notice. One of them does turn around and notices Litzy and gestures for Litzy to come join the group.
I'm like trying to stand in front of Lakir and Tess to try to like hide them as they're crawling on the ground.
They still are looking at you, kneeling and asking looking at you expectingly and waiting for what you're going to say next.
Okay. So I'm going to hold my hands up in the air, and through my sewn shut mouth, I'm just going to go, and then I'm going to walk over and I'm going to, are the rangers chained together?
No, they're free.
They're freely.
They're in ceremonious garb. is all I
willingly doing this. Or at least it looks that
think.
way.
It looks like it.
Okay. There's a couple things I want to do. I just don't know. It just depends on what's going on, you know?
I know. I'm very baffled. I'm like, okay, because at first I thought it was one of those hunting things where they release them,
Oh, yeah.
give them a head start, but then I was like, but they're not running. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm baffled.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're turning them into gnolls. You know? Kind of feel like that's what they do.
Something. Yeah.
I'm going to walk over, and I'm going to link all the hands of the rangers together. And then I'm going to motion the first ranger, follow me, and then I'm going to start walking back to the fort to see if just the rangers will follow me.
Okay. The gnolls look, and as they watch you leading the rangers backwards, they go,
Okay.
and one goes, "Hey, what are you doing?"
So I'm gonna angrily, without hesitation, man. I've been waiting for this. Without hesitation, I'm gonna angrily turn around as if he's questioning me, and I'm gonna mumble something, and I'm gonna walk over. Would you say that? What action would do D4 damage if I flicked him? Would you say it does 1 D4 damage?
Melee attack does 1 damage plus your strength.
Yeah.
Okay. Plus however much gold I have.
Oh man.
He questions you, and you're just like, One Punch Man time.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my God,
I'm
you're
more
just gonna
going
be
for
a god. They're gonna.
like a fetal movement, like a flick to just deal 1d4 damage to enact this other property that I've got going on.
All right.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Okay.
So you flick him. This force just breaks the sound barrier as you flick his nose, and boom, and just sends this gnoll thousands of feet in the other direction, well past the fountain, and totally super dead. Everyone's jaw drops to the floor, and they get up from their knees and they follow you back to the fort. And with that is where we're going to end our session.
Blink becomes the god of gnolls.
That went so.
That was so good.
Oh my
man.
gosh, just incredible.
Thank you for joining us. If you like this podcast, go ahead and give us a review. If you can't give us a review, refer us to a friend so that we can get into more people's listen libraries. But with that, my name is Cade, and I'm the host and game master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the players to my left.
Mason playing Lakir.
Brooklyn playing Litzy.
Danny playing Tess.
Caden playing Blink.
All right, awesome. Well, remember when life knocks you flat on your back, all you got to do is roll on the wild magic table. Jeez. We hope you have a great rest of your day.